Hey guys, Zach Stott here, coming at you with a pretty interesting and cool deck. This deck topped Europeans World Qualifiers, I think back in like March or April, but really went under the radar. It got top 32. Before I go into it, I did want to say though that I did not make or like just randomly find out about this deck. I actually on TCG Player. I'm sure a lot of you guys read that, but if you don't, it's one of the articles up there. So if you don't read that or you don't regularly look at that website, I'll put a link in the description. You can go there and read a little bit more about the deck. I did change a few things, actually only really one thing in the deck compared to that version, and I'll go over that into a second. But yeah, we'll go into the deck. I'll tell you its ins, its outs, and really what it tries to do mostly. So first we have the Watt engine with 1 Watt Giraffe, 3 Watt Cobras for the search, 3 Watt Dragonflies for search, and 3 Watt Hoppers. What this whole deck tries to do, the entire purpose of the deck, is to get 2 Watt Hoppers in the field and keep a lock. Because then the only thing your opponent can do is massive destructions through Torrential, Dark Hole, etc. Or direct attacks. And direct attacks aren't really viable, so it's pretty much just mass destructions. And this lock is extremely good. You just get it out and you start attacking directly with your monsters. So that's honestly the whole point of the deck, and it's really not hard in this deck at all. So, next we have 2 Shining Angels. Just for consistency, you can get out your Watt Hoppers, your Dragonfly, even your Cobra if you need it. And yeah, even your Watt Giraffe. And just improves the consistency of the deck. 1 card D just for, I don't know, random draw power. I don't know. I find it weird putting 1 in. Like, I would probably take an effect failure if I was going to do it and put in 2. Because 1's like, you put 1 card and you're never really going to draw. I mean, you will sometimes, but it becomes a power card, and I just don't view it as that. But, that's how we built it. I want to show you guys the original version. But if I was doing it, I'd put in 2, taking out effect failure. But he has 3 effect failures, heavy effect failure control there. And then really really interesting part of the deck, he has 3 Dark Bribes, and he had 3 Huge Revolutions is over, but I'm putting 3 Charlotte Roads in, just because, Charlotte Road can get warning, but you have 3 Dark Bribes and a Judgment already, so if they warning that, and you say Dark Bribe it, not only do they take 2,000, but you get a Stardust on the field. And what this creates, this 6 heavy back row protection, is that any kind of out they have to this, like there are few torrentials or few dark holes they may have, it's either gonna be stopped or it's gonna minus them, and you're gonna get a Stardust on the field. And really, the Dark Bribe giving them a +1 isn't a big deal in this deck, because usually people only have about probably 3 or 4 outs in their deck to the Watt Hopper lock, and if they can't get it out and you stop them, then they're done. I mean, they literally can't do anything. So that's mainly why this is actually really good in this deck. Next, you have 2 Fiendish Change, just for protection, stops a lot of effects, and again, with the 3 Veilers and 2 Fiendishes, it really stops a lot of your opponent's plays. And then the 2 Rivalries. I thought it was weird about maining this for a second, but then it kind of made sense, like maining 2 of these for a second, because there's some decks that won't really affect. But then it kind of made sense to me, because every deck is really going to XYZ, Synchro, or Fusion, and Rivalry pretty much just prevents the OTK that this deck can sometimes encounter, because this deck is a piece deck, and it needs at least 2 to 3 turns to get everything in play for it to win. So, the thing that this does, it stops, the wind-up OTKs, it stops long-term, I guess you could say, the gear OTKs, and then it stops other things like that. Because most XYZs and Synchros are not the type that the materials that they've been synchroed of, so yeah, it's definitely a good card. And then the last card, which is really good in this deck, Wolves and Sheep's Closing. It's an instant Gravekeeper lock, or Watt Keeper, whatever it's called lock. Activate only when you take battle damage for your opponent's direct attack. Reveal 1 level 1 monster in your hand, special summon it from your hand, and add 1 monster of the same name from your deck. So pretty much if you have this card and Watt Hopper in your hand, which isn't very hard with Watt Cobra, you just activate it, and you get the Watt Hopper lock instantaneously. And there's nothing they can really do about it unless they warning it or whatever, but you have the 6 stop cards for that. Actually 7 if you include Judgment, so there you go. Next is Mirror Force, just 1, in case, just more backward protection. Judgment here plays, Judgment's always that key power card that you need to use conservatively, but he plays a lot differently in here. Not a lot, but a little bit. He should only be used ever to stop something from killing your lock, or to push for game. That's it. You shouldn't use it for really anything else. No summon negation, no anything. If they dark hole and the only thing you have is Judgment, and you have your lock on the field, you use it. That's pretty much like literally it. And that's why he's in here, because he can stop anything. And then we have a few tech cards. Now, one messenger apiece, just for that stall. Again, though, I wouldn't run it at one. That's just me. I'm not sure what I would take out, to be honest. But one just seems iffy. But hey, he topped 32 in World Qualifier, so can't really complain there. One in my body, again, just more outs to your opponent's wipeout things on the field, and you only play 1500, so it can be really good. One recycling batteries in case your Watt Hopper gets destroyed, or you only have one or whatever. Then you have two ways to get it back: one recycling and one Monster Reborn. I would personally look into playing two of those instead of a Shard of Greed. If I was playing this deck, I'd take out a Shard, put in two recycling batteries, because Shard of Greed's really slow, and while it's better than this format, it's still slow. And you can protect it for sure, but again, it's still slow. Recycling batteries just gives you an instant +2. If you have the requirements, which with the amount of deck thinning in this deck, you will. And then two Shard of Greeds. It's slow, but it's good, and you have a lot of things to protect it, so why not? Two Pod Dualities and Avarice. This makes up kind of the draw engine of the deck right here. This also recycles. I guess you have three ways to recycle your Watt Hoppers, and the Dualities, since you don't special summon very much, is for consistency. 1-for-1 for your instant Watt Hopper lock potential, which is really good, and you could also go into synchro plays if you needed to. And then one Monster Reborn, just for reviving your Watt Hopper or anything else you need. So the thing about this deck is that you don't really go in the extra deck a lot, except for obviously maybe Stardust. You only go really on the extra deck if you need to, or if something has gone wrong. Besides that, you really don't need to. I guess your Emerald is a good way to get back your Watt Hoppers, and Symphony Jin or Gotchi's good way to stall, as is Utopia, and Gem Pearl is just kind of for that. If they have a 2500 like a Stardust, you just need to get over it. And then Magical Androids, that Chain Burn answer, and Catastrophe that, I need something really fast to get over this monster answer. But really, you don't go into this very often. You only go into it if you have a big issue. So yeah, that's the deck, guys. It's pretty good. It's very consistent. It has a lot of deck thinning, a lot of awesome plays. Watt Giraffe is especially good because it leaves you open for your main phase 2 to do whatever you want, really. And yeah, I'll definitely post a video of me dueling with it, and you guys can try it too. It's really consistent, and it plays so different. That's what I love. It's competitive, and yet it plays so different because you're not really going for any big powerful XYZ hit or some burn or whatever. You're literally going for a lock and then slowly whittling your opponent down with direct attacks, and that's just really funny to me. But anyways, guys, again, this deck topped in European top 32 World Qualifiers back in March. It's not my deck. I made a few changes to it, but again, I'll link the article that originally posted it in the description. So thanks, guys. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you later, YouTube.